Namaste everyone and welcome to my channel Sapna's Yoga Diary. Today in this video I'm going to demonstrate Shankh Prakshalan. It's 7:30 a.m. in the morning. This is a cleansing practice, intestinal cleansing, and this must be done empty stomach in the morning. And it is important to have a light meal a night before you practice Shankh Prakshalan. Plenty of clean, warm water should be available and also extra hot water in case the temperature of the water cools. This is my fifth attempt of Shankh Prakshalan, and with experience, I have learned this. What I generally do, if you can see, there are three round vessels. So the one that I'm going to use in the beginning that has that is warm water, warm saline water, and the second one has warmer temperature, that's pretty warmer than the first container, and the third one is like hot saline water. I'm going to use it at the end because this practice is going to take around 1 to 1.5 hours depending on how long you take. Every individual take different time. By 1 hour, even the hot water will get the temperature will drop down and it will become warmer enough to drink, comfortable to drink. So I'm gonna use these three vessels for drinking water. I have kept extra water also. If you can see, there is blue hot water kettle. It has hot water but not saline. I have not added salt to this hot water. And then there is copper jug. It has a normal room temperature water. Again, it is not saline. This is basically kept to adjust the temperature of the water if I have to. If I need hot water or cold water, I have both of the both hot and cold water available to adjust the temperature of the water. And I also have salt. I'm using rock salt here, so I'm using rock pink salt in a small bowl, and it has a spoon so that I can mix it well in the water. And you can see a small mug. It's a steel mug. This is what I'm going to use to drink water. So in Shankh Prakshalan, it's an intestinal cleansing process. Though it is called as an intestinal cleansing process, but if you see, it cleanses the whole body, starting from the food pipe, and then the stomach, then intestine, rectum. The whole body gets cleaned. You feel the whole body has been washed internally. Because at the end of the practice, when you stop, what happens is, if you do not know what happens in this practice, what we are going to do is I'm going to have 2 glass of saline water, and then I'm going to do 5 yogic practices, and then again I'm going to have 2 glass of water, and again 5 practices. Those 5 yogic practices are dynamic practice. Dynamic meaning you're going to do that at least 8 to 12 rounds, depending on how you're feeling. Sometimes I'll be doing 8 rounds, sometimes 10. You will see me doing it. So they basically create the pressure in the body, and you have to keep repeating it. You have to keep doing the yogic practice, and then finish those 5 practices. Again, drink 2 glass of water, and then you have to keep doing it till you feel the urge to pass the stool. So once you feel the urge to go to the toilet and pass stool, you will go and clear your bowel, and then come back, and then keep repeating the process. Have 2 glass of water again, then repeat the 5 yogic practices, and you'll keep on doing it till uh, the water that you are having and the stool that is passed is clear water. It should be as clear as how you are drinking, so which means nothing is, no waste is there in the body, everything is clean. The kind of water, the clarity in the water that you are consuming from the mouth, the same clarity you are going to get in the stool, which is going to pass at the end. So the whole internal body gets clean in this practice. This practice is very important, but it has many precautions. So it's not easy. This is the only practice which makes me nervous. This is my fifth attempt, and I must say, this is the best attempt I have done so far. Um, and I it went very smooth. It went very smooth, and I'm very confident from now on. So it took me 5 attempts, and you know you shouldn't be doing this practice very frequently. This should be practiced once in 6 months. So in a year you can do it only twice, and this practice should be avoided in extreme weathers like extreme hot or extreme cold conditions. This should be avoided in a rainy, windy season. The best time to do these practices are basically the changeover time when the season is changing. And that period is the best. When you're practicing Shankh Prakshalan, wear loose cotton, comfortable clothes. Okay, now let's understand the food precautions. As I told you before, the night before you practice this Shankh Prakshalan, you have to have light meal. And when you are practicing Shankh Prakshalan, the first meal which you are going to consume, which is within the 1 hour of finishing Shankh Prakshalan, you need to have your first meal, and that should be khichdi without any salt. Khichdi, moong dal khichdi. I generally prepare moong dal khichdi, the moong dal which is like yellow in color, and I don't even add turmeric to it, though turmeric is allowed, but there is a lot of contamination and adulteration happening in masalas also. So I avoid haldi also, turmeric also. So I prepare khichdi with rice and moong dal without any salt to it. That is the first meal, and you can add clarified butter, but make sure you use good quality clarified butter, desi ghee. I recommend you to have A2 desi ghee. That basically creates lubrication in the body. So it's important to add that in the khichdi. So yeah, so khichdi without masala, without any salt, with clarified butter on it as the first meal. Second meal also khichdi without salt as lunch, and then in the evening you can have khichdi again without salt if your body allows you to. If you feel very weak, then you can add slight little salt to it. The second day of Shankh Prakshalan is also very important. In the second day, also, it is best to have khichdi. You can add salt to it, but have khichdi, that would be best to do. And both the first day and the second day, you have to avoid doing any physical work or mental activity. Even the physical practice has to be avoided. You have to take complete rest, avoid watching TV, and reduce screen time as much as you can. If you have learned meditation, meditate, that would be good to do. But good rest is very important on the first 2 days. From the third day, you can introduce chapati and boiled vegetables. For at least 1 month after the practice, all chemically processed, synthetic, pungent, spicy, acidic, rich, and non veg food must be strictly avoided. No pickles, sweets, chocolates, ice creams, or soft drinks should be taken. Milk, buttermilk, yogurt, and all fruits, especially acidic fruits such as lemons, grapefruit, oranges, or pineapples, are strictly avoided. Alcohol, cigarettes, tea, coffee, and any type of intoxicant or drug should not be taken. The diet should be as pure, simple, and neutral as possible. It may include foods such as rice, wheat, bread, vegetables with low acidic content. Nuts, lentils, and other pulses are also good to have. Make sure you nourish your body properly after the practice. Okay, so let's begin the practice. I'm opening my first vessel now. Okay, I think the water has cooled down, so I'm adding some hot water to it, checking the temperature, adding some extra salt. So the water has to be as salty as your sweat, as salty as your tears, as salty as our dal. Mix it well. Okay, I'm gonna have my first mug of water. Remember, the water should not be lukewarm. It should be hotter than lukewarm water. Okay, you have to sit in Kagasan. This is Kagasan. This is also the excretory posture of Indian toilet for Indians traditionally. So what it basically does, it blocks the water to flow down to the lower body. Keep having the water. It is a physical, it appears to be a physical act, physical practice, but the mind has plays a very important role. Keep your mind very relaxed and the whole practice will flow very smoothly. So, yeah, I was telling the water has to be hotter than the lukewarm water, as hot as you can comfortably drink. If you're not comfortable in sitting at Kagasan, you can also add a stool under your buttocks that will give you a good support. If that is also uncomfortable to you, in that case, you can sit in the cross leg position and then practice and then drink water. I have practiced Shankh Prakshalan in past where I have drank water in cross leg position. But with my experience, I would say Kagasan give you better results. I mean, it's smoother. The practice goes smoother in Kagasan. Keep drinking water. Stay mentally calm. So, the number of glasses will vary from individual to individual. As I said, I don't know whether I have mentioned it in the beginning or not, but you need to keep around 16 to 18 glass of water. Normally, in the beginning, around 16 glass of water will be required, and slowly, as you keep practicing, the number of glass reduces. As I generally practice Shatkarma Kriya, for me, normally I take around 12 glass of water to finish the whole practice. So this is my second glass of water. I'm done. And now let's begin the 5 yogic practices. First one, Tadasana. Let's do it dynamically. Raise your heels up. Breathe normally, naturally. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, I've done it 10 times, but you have to do it around 8 to 12 rounds. It will vary. It basically depends on how I'm feeling at that moment. I may do sometimes 8 rounds, sometimes 9, sometimes 10. So 8 to 12 rounds you can repeat. So this is Tiryak Tadasana. This is the second practice. While doing this practice, make sure you do not overstretch. I have done it once because you have to repeatedly do these practices for around 1 hour. So if you overstretch, it may induce pain around your waistline. Now, Kati Chakrasana. Exhale back, inhale center, okay? If you look carefully, I'm looking a bit nervous because I am little bit. This practice always makes me a bit nervous, but this time I did it very well. It went very smooth. So you see my facial expression changing as the practice progresses. This is Tiryak Bhujangasana dynamically. So when you turn your head, when you turn your head on the right, you look towards the right heel, left heel. And when you turn your head towards the left side, you look towards the right heel. And the last practice, Udarakarsanasana. Here from Kagasana, drop your one knee down and look towards the opposite side. So when you drop your knee down, you have to place your buttocks on the heel of the dropped leg and twist your upper body backward. Because of this posture, dynamic position, dynamic kriya, uh, this practice is not advisable for people who have knee issue or arthritis. Let me also talk about the contraindications. Who are the people who should not be practicing this practice? One is the people who have knee issue. Others are the one who have high blood pressure, who have hernia, who have heart issue, kidney issue. If you are pregnant, then you should not be practicing this. If you are on menstruation, you should not be practicing this. Okay, this is my third glass. The food precautions that I had told you in the beginning, that should be taken very seriously because this, as I told you, that this practice cleans the whole internal system. So it your body becomes like a body of a small baby who has yet not started eating cereals. So you have to go very slow. You have to train your body. You have to feed yourself with good, nutritious food. Nutritious, healthy, easily digestible food. because your whole digestive system, not just digestive system, the whole body, the rhythm of the body gets disturbed when you practice Shankha Prakshalan, and it takes time for the body to resume its normal function and be effective at it. So give it time, support your body when you are practicing it. And if it appears too much for you, then avoid this practice. Okay, this is my fourth class. And I'm ready for the yogic kriyas. Tadasan, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. See, this time I did only 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Tiriyak Bhujangasana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. See, in this practice, I've done it 9 times. So it basically varies depending on how you're feeling at that moment. 1, 2, 3. And remember, these yogic kriyas are fixed. I mean, you should be doing it in the same order. You cannot change the order of the practice. I forgot the count now. This is the Rakashanasana. And one more thing, I'm making this video for awareness, for letting people know that such kind of yogic practices are there in yoga. And I basically motivate people to learn these practices, but not through YouTube videos. You cannot see this video and start performing it on your own. I'm strictly telling you this because this is my fifth attempt, and as I told you, it went very smooth. Thankfully, it went very smooth. All my previous attempts, I have faced some or the other problems, and I'm practicing yoga from last 10, 12 years now. So I have a very good hold, and I know how to, how to do and what to do when. So that ways, I am comfortable at comfortable at doing this practice on my own. But in the beginning, I didn't do it on my own. In the beginning, you need a yoga guru who can see what you are doing, who can support you, who can motivate you. Because you know what happens when you do this practice, this kind of practice. As I mentioned, also, I was very nervous in the beginning, but now I'm quite confident. I know I have got a hold on this. Uh, Even though I am sweating because of nervousness that you have for the practice. So, in the beginning, in the previous attempts, what happened, I'll tell you. Sometimes when you, because in the practice and in theory, what you learn is you have 2 glass of water, you perform practice, you again have water, you again practice till the time the stool, the bowel movement is triggered. But practically what happens, it doesn't happen like that. Sometimes what happens, 2 glass of water is too much. If even 1 glass of water is difficult to drink, you feel that you are full with water. And when you force yourself to drink extra water, the water will come out from the mouth. You will vomit it out. That has happened to me in uh, the first two attempts. It has happened when I have forced myself to drink the water. The water has come out from the mouth, and that creates a big tension. And sometimes you feel very nervous, you feel like giving up, and leaving the practice in the middle is not a good idea. That's why it's important to have a yoga teacher with you, yoga guru with you, who is experienced enough and knows this practice very well, um, and who can guide you that what you should do in which situation. When you are feeling heavy, what should be done? When you vomit the water out, what should be done? How to motivate the person to continue the practice rather than thinking to give up. So that is why it's very important to have the teacher along with you, who can observe you, who can guide you, who can motivate you through this practice, because this is amazing practice. I motivate everyone, every individual to do this practice. You have heard the contraindication. Not everyone can do it. Uh, the person who is healthy, who has not got any disease yet, that's the best to start. Those people are, best to perform these kriyas, because others, the diseased ones, a lot of diseased people are already excluded. They cannot do this practice. And it's performed, this practice you can perform only once in 6 months. So you do it once, and then you are done for 6 months. You take the precaution for 1 month, and with that 1 month precaution, your eating habits will change. So yeah, I'm doing Tiryak Bhujangasana now, and I'm very close to the bowel movement I feel. Let's see. I think I'll take one more round. The first 2 days of the practice is very critical. You have to take good rest. So I have picked Saturday to do this practice. There was one private yoga session which I have cancelled today because I wanted to do this practice and I wanted to rest well. So I've cancelled that class, and the next day is Sunday. Again, I'm going to take rest on Sunday. So if you have Saturday and Sunday holiday, Saturday would be best to do this practice so that you can rest on Sunday and resume your work from Monday onwards. Okay, I'm going for another round. So this is the second vessel I'm using. This has this originally when I kept the water, it had comparatively hotter water than the one which I used previously. And yes, after Shankh Prakshalan, it is very important to do Kunjal practice, because what happens even after having the clear, white, clear stool, liquid stool, um, there is lot of saline water which you have drank and which is there in your body. So it's important to take that water out from the body. So for that you do kunjal. So at the end I will do kunjal. I have shown you, I have kept hot water and cold water, room temperature water, in two different vessel. One is in the kettle and other in the copper jug. So I'm gonna mix those two water and adjust the temperature to do kunjal practice at the end. That will take the extra saline water off from the body, but that will take the water off only if it is there in the stomach. Okay, because kunjal is basically it cleanses the stomach. But if the water has flown down from the stomach, in that case, what happens? Even after passing the liquid transparent stool, um, when you go for the rest, after the practice, there is 45 minutes of rest. During that rest period, also, you keep on passing the liquid stool. So if you are passing liquid stool while relaxing in Shavasana for those 45 minutes, do not worry. It is completely normal. Okay. Hopefully, this is my last round of yogic practices. I can feel that I am close. Let's see how close I am. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. Okay. Another important thing which I forgot to mention is when you are doing Shankh Prakshalan, if you want to take bath before you start the practice. Like in my case, I have taken my bath and then I am doing this practice. Because after the practice, it is very important to keep the body warm. So it's important to avoid taking bath. So if you want to take bath, You can do it before the practice and after the practice, because you have to keep yourself warm. Do not go under the air condition, avoid air condition, keep yourself warm, in fact, for the whole day if that is comfortable to you. Don't rest under air condition. See how small things I'm small information I'm giving. I was forgetting, I'm remembering, I'm recalling, and then I'm sharing, because this there are a lot of small things associated with this practice, and if you take care of all these things, the whole practice will go very smooth. And again, as I'm recording this video, I'm making this video, it is highly possible that I still miss some instruction or precaution. And that is why it's important to have the teacher with you when you are practicing, because what the teacher does, it before they start to teach, they will create the plan. If I have to teach this practice, I will prepare the whole thing well in advance. I will make a list of precaution. I will share all the details well in advance. It will be much detailed than what I'm giving you. I mean, of course, I'm covering all the details, but in case I'm there is still a possibility that I miss some information in this video. But this cannot happen if I'm teaching somebody Shankh Prakshalan face to face. It's not possible. I mean, I will not do it. Um, so, because it's a very important practice, and the difficult practice, where you cannot be careless. So yeah, always practice under the teacher of a good, well experienced teacher. I'll tell you what happened. I'll give you an example. Um, one of the student, she learned Laghu Shankh Prakshalan. It is Laghu Shankh Prakshalan is a smaller version of Shankh Prakshalan. So she learned Laghu Shankh Prakshalan from a yoga guru, and the yoga master forgot to tell the student about the precautions on the meal part. So, what the student did, the first meal that she had was boiled eggs. It was a disaster. It created severe pain in the stomach of that lady. Um, so, yeah, I'm sharing this because, um, I'm sharing this example so that you understand one mistake can impact adversely to you. So it's very important to bear in mind all the precautions, food precautions, practice precautions associated with the practices like Shankh Prakshalan. Tiryak Tarasan. By now, I think I have had 10 glasses of water. Okay, it's time. Hmm. So by the time I return, let's talk about the benefits of Shankh Prakshalan. Shankh Prakshalan physically it it relieves you from your digestive problems and tones the liver and other digestive organs and glands. It strengthens the immune system, reduces excessive mucus, and purifies the blood. Shankh Prakshalan recharges the entire pranic body, removes blockages from the nadis, and purifies all the chakras. The harmony of five pranas is restored and the energy level is raised. Mentally, it calms the mind and prepares the way of higher states of consciousness. Any sadhana performed after this cleansing practice gives manifold results. So, people who are spiritual seekers like me, who practice yoga for spiritual gain, for spiritual benefits, for them, this practice is very important. So, yeah, if you are falling in the category of the people who can practice Shankha Prakshalan, this should be in your list and you love yoga, then this must be there in the list. As I have done this practice already, it was my fifth attempt. I can tell you from my experience that it makes you feel really good. I'll tell you what, I'm currently in, I've not completed 1 month yet. It's just been a week. I've recently been to a restaurant where for my mother-in-law she wanted something, so we went there. It was a small joint, and I really love handwo. Handwo is basically it's a Gujarati dish. I love handwo from that restaurant, but it didn't feel like eating anything from outside at all. I nothing. You don't crave for outside food. People think that, what if I feel like eating from outside? But if you are following the procedure properly, you will not feel like eating from outside. You will enjoy every meal at home. Very basic. Even the first khichdi that I had, the first meal without salt, it was tasting so good. I cannot explain. I was very happy eating that khichdi, and because your whole body is empty, you empty your whole body. There's nothing, no waste, nothing is there inside. You feel hungry after finishing the practice, after this rest period, and it is very important to consume the first meal at the right time, that is within 1 hour of the practice. You have to have your first meal khichdi without any salt to it. The first meal, it tastes wonderful. The second time you start missing the salt when you have your second meal. And in the third meal, all you want is khichdi with a bit of salt. That's why I said if you want to add a little bit of salt on your third meal, you can do that. So I have done it. Okay, 6 times I have passed stool. So what was happening? That's why it took so much of time. What was happening? Every time I was trying to come back, there was urge to pass the stool again. So I passed it 6 times. So with this, we can understand that it didn't happen the same way in my previous attempts. What happens is you go to the toilet, you go to the loo, you pass the stool. First, the solid stool is passed, then the semi solid stool is passed, and then the liquid yellow cloudy stool is passed, and then at the end, the liquid, the transparent liquid is passed. And it does not happen all at once. um, so first time when the stool gets triggered, you go to the toilet, you pass the stool, and then you come back, you again drink water, you practice yogic kriyas, and then again there's an urge to go to the toilet, and then you go. So like that happens. But at this time, what happened, um it took me 10 glass of water to trigger the um bowel movement. And then when I went, I passed the stool 6 times, and this time there was no solid stool because I regularly practice Shatkarma Kriya. I keep my stomach clean on a regular basis, so there was probably no undigested waste. So I passed a semi-solid waste, semi-solid stool, and by the time I was done with sixth time of stool, what happened is it was already yellow liquid, and I'm quite sure this time when I'm gonna go, my practice is going to finish. I'm gonna get clear water. So yeah, let's just wait. Also with this time, it was good to understand that, see, either way it's fine. Like in this attempt, um I went to the toilet, and I passed stool 6 times back to back without returning and without having any extra water. But in previous attempts, it wasn't the situation. I was, I think, after 6 glass of having water, I passed stool for the first time. I came back again, and then I had water. I performed yogic kriyas, and then I went to the toilet again. So this way I was doing. So you know, it can happen that way or this way. Both ways are fine. What you have to remember is, when there is an urge to go to the toilet and pass a stool, you have to do it. And when there is no urge, you don't have to force yourself to do it. Okay, the smile on my face is telling me that the the I can feel the bowel movement at any time. Ah, see. Okay. So as I told you that this time, particularly because I was recording this video, I made sure I finish my practice, and I'll finish at the point when I'll get clear water, which will happen at this time. But I could have stopped my practice in the before, last time when I went to the, because I went to the toilet, and I passed stool 6 times, and on the sixth time when I passed stool, it was uh, light yellow liquid. So I could have stopped my practice then, because what happens, that was not the end of passing stool. You have lot of saline water in your body. Of course, most of it you will take out through kunjal. I will do kunjal, and I'll take off the water take out the water which is there in my stomach, but the water which has flown down um, from the stomach to the intestine, because of that, when you go to the rest, when you go for rest, even in the resting period, you will keep on passing liquid stool. So if I would have stopped it then when I'm resting, I would have continued to pass stool. And at that time, I will reach a stage when the liquid stool will be white transparent. So you do not have to wait till the time your liquid stool is plain transparent. You can stop the practice when your liquid stool is still yellow in color, but it's totally liquid. Also, after Shankh Prakshalan, it is important to maintain silence. Maun, we call it Maun in Hindi. Maintaining silence is very important because nothing is there in the body. Source of energy, food is not there. So, and you are going to start, giving nutrition to the body slowly. And talking is something which exhausts a lot of energy from the body. So it's important for the first 2 days you practice Mon, you maintain silence, do not indulge yourself in any sort of physical practice or mental activity. Do not just relax for these 2 days, and even avoid physical yoga practice. You can start the practice from the third day, but for the first 2 days, you have to just relax. See, I had started the practice at around 7:20, and it is 8:10 in the clock. So it took me around 45 minutes, 50 minutes, 50 minutes approximately so far. Okay, I'm back and it's done. Now I'm going to finish it off with Kunjal because, as I told you, I have saline water in my body. And if you do not do Kunjal, what will happen is you will continue to pass the stool for a very long time because you have a lot of saline water in your body. So you need to take that out. Even after Kunjal, I will still be passing stool. This time, even after Kunjal, I pass stool, liquid stool, 2 times in my resting period. I'm adjusting the water temperature for Kunjal. 2 to 3 glass of water is more than enough because you already have a lot of water in your body. Remember, the Kunjal water has to be without salt. So let me go and come back quickly. Okay, I'm done with Kunjal. Now it's time to rest. 45 minutes of rest is essential for the body before you take your first meal. So, this is the arrangement. So, it's important you do not, you know, lie down under AC. So, AC is turned off. It's summers, and I am using fan. And Yeah, I'm gonna rest here. I'm gonna cover myself up with that bed sheet. I'm just arranging everything. I'm setting an alarm after like 45 minutes exact. I'm adding background music so that I don't sleep. It is very important that you do not sleep for around 4 to 5 hours after the practice. It's very important you rest but do not sleep, because it may make your head heavy and you may catch cold. So rest but do not sleep. That is why what I do is I add the music in the background. I add the alarm exactly after 45 minutes. I keep on listening to the music to keep myself awake. And along with that, I practice deep breathing. Deep breathing will relax my body and at the same time keep myself focused on the breath. So I'm all set. My khichdi is also ready downstairs. So exactly after 45 minutes, I'm gonna consume that khichdi. You can also use Yoga Nidra audio, but the only thing is in Yoga Nidra, you may fall asleep. So that is why practice what relaxes your body but uh, doesn't make you sleep. I'm just practicing deep breathing and relaxing. I hope you found this video useful. I have covered all the aspects of Shankh Prakshalan, but again, I want to emphasize on my intention and objective behind making this video, that I wanted to make people aware that such kind of purification practices are also there in yoga. Yoga is not just about asanas. So these videos are just the reference for learning these practices. Please learn under the guidance of a right yoga guru, yoga teacher for you. The right yoga teacher is basically the one uh, who is experienced, who understand the practice, not just theoretical knowledge, not just by theory but also by practice. Because in all my 5 attempts, all my experiences were different. So it's very important that the yoga master has has experienced these differences and understand and can guide you properly what should be done when you're feeling whatever, there are different feelings, or sometimes you feel nervous, sometimes you're sweating. So the person should be able to guide you properly. On that note, I want to conclude this video. I hope this was very helpful to you. If you like this video, do give me a thumbs up. If it inspired you to learn this practice, do share with me how you felt about it. And if you have any query, any question, you can put it in the comment box and I will reply to them. And yeah, do let me know, do share how you're feeling. I just love reading your comments that motivate me to create good videos. So yeah, take good care of yourself, practice properly, practice well, and yeah, stay healthy. Namaste.